Chualora with this question: do you think the Warriors can win the championship again? And can the Warriors sign Mac McClung to a two-way contract? I'll tell you this. He has been a diamond in the rough for Golden State. He was behind a couple of players with the Los Angeles Lakers in their summer league play in the California Classic. He goes to the Warriors because an opportunity presented itself for McClung to get more minutes. And this past Sunday night, in a win against the San Antonio Spurs, he was doing it all. Getting to the rack, displaying some burst in athleticism, had a couple of really fine and creative finishes around the rim, up and under, finishing among the trees, had a really good behind-the-back pass, little pull-up jumper as well. Athletically, he could play at the NBA level. Has to get a little bit better defensively. My comp for him, can he become Alex Caruso? Not defensively, but he's a better offensive player. I think that Mac McClung can make this team, and I think it'd be wise to maybe bring him in at least throughout training camp and preseason to give him a chance to make the roster. By the way, make sure you subscribe to our Warriors channel. It's youtube.com/WarriorsTV. Johnny295, Patrick Beverly to the Warriors would be amazing. Him and Draymond Green talking that smack. Hashtag NBA go Dubs. Johnny, that's great right there. I appreciate the excitement and enthusiasm. Patrick Beverly to the Warriors would be fascinating for a multitude of reasons. He's been said to be close friends with Steph Curry, and you think about him and Draymond Green sharing the basketball floor together, two of the best trash talkers in the NBA, two guys who it's really hard to match their intensity, especially on the defensive end. All pro caliber defenders, both of them are. And at that guard spot, Patrick Beverly would be able to lock down some of the best point guards, shooting guards. And even though there's a size deficit, some of the best wings in the NBA as well. You lose Gary Payton II, you bring in Dante DiVincenzo. Patrick Beverly would also help that. If there's a buyout with him in Utah, could he sign with the Warriors for cheap? That right there would certainly be intriguing. Make sure you subscribe to our Warriors channel, but also get into the comment section right now. Will the Warriors repeat this upcoming season? Y for yes, N for no. Let us know. And Warriors today, all of our NBA properties, they continue to grow, including our main Chat Sports YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Do you want more NBA news, rumors, trade talk, free agency conversation, live question and answer segments? Turn on those noties and subscribe. Jake the Snake 69. Is this my boy Jake Brown? With Draymond Green having 2 years left on his deal, Golden State should trade for Ben Simmons to start grooming him in that role. Now, I've said this about Ben Simmons. I think for him, he would benefit from forgetting about wanting to be a point guard in this league. I think those days have come and gone, and frankly, I don't think that's where he's valued the most, because point guards, in my opinion, they need to be able to hit free throws, and they need to be able to stretch the floor to a certain degree, and Ben Simmons does neither well. He's actually unwilling to shoot the basketball. So Simmons in a Draymond Green type of role intrigues me a lot because he's an excellent defender, all-NBA defender too, by the way. And that's the last time that we saw him, that year, 2 years ago. He was an all-NBA defender. Unbelievable vision, good screener and roller, pick and pop guy who can hang out in that dunker spot, can pass from the low post or the high post like Draymond. And this guy is a really smart basketball player. As far as him going to the Warriors, doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, it's interesting that Draymond Green has 2 years left on his deal. What's going to happen in the future? How does he age? And does Golden State pay him once more, probably for past production instead of future production? Something to keep an eye on. I like Simmons in the Draymond Green role. I don't think the Warriors make a play for him. Now, make sure you turn on your notifications here at Chat Sports. Look, cover the NBA a lot here at Chat Sports, but also we're your home for the best NFL coverage. And with training camp coming up in just a couple of weeks, we're going to start to ramp up our NFL coverage and college football as well. So you don't want to miss anything that we're doing, anything that we're cooking up, whether it be a video on demand as we pump out multiple per day, or a live show as we go live a couple times per week. So make sure you turn on those notifications. Therefore, when we do push out a video or go live, you'll be notified. How do you do it? You go to the settings app, scroll down, tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. Therefore, you'll stay in the know with everything that we're doing. J. Harrell Obrador. Will the Warriors sign Mac McClung to a two-way contract? I think he is deserving of it. I think that he can certainly play as a backup guard at the NBA level. I've talked a lot about it on Warriors Today. This guy is athletic. This guy has some bounce. He has some spring. He has some explosiveness. Not sure what he can do defensively. It's a little bit of a concern, but can finish around the rim, can pass it, can handle the basketball. I watch him and I'm like, this dude can play at the NBA level. We pivot now to this question from Colin Hassenstein. It's actually a statement. Bucks versus Warriors in the NBA Finals in 2023. I think it would be a terrific matchup. We nearly saw it this year. Wonder what would have happened if Chris Middleton did not get injured for Milwaukee. By the way, on top of that injury that he suffered in the playoffs, wrist surgery as well. So he's recovering from that as he's gotten banged up throughout the rigors of a long playoff schedule and regular season schedule. But honestly, you think about this matchup really quickly. Do the Warriors have anybody who can match up against Giannis? I don't think so. I think the Bucks have a legitimate shot at winning the NBA Finals. And producer Coop is saying Draymond Green, throughout the course of a potential 7-game series, are you confident in Draymond Green to guard Giannis consistently? That's a tough task right there. But Draymond Green, one of the best defensive players of all time. With that, I ask you this question. Name a free agent you still want your team to sign. So list your team and then give us a name in the comment section right now. Some pretty solid free agents available. Which one do you want your squad to ink to a deal? Let us know right now. Pop Johnson next up in our mailbag. Who is your top 5 underrated rookies going into the season? Is Keegan Murray underrated because he got selected number 5? Is Benedict Mathurin a little bit underrated? He's been tearing it up in the Summer League alongside Keegan Murray. Those are 2 right there. I think E.J. Liddell can get minutes for the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm thinking of some other player. Jalen Williams, I think, is a really good selection as a 3-and-D guy who could get minutes right away because those types of players, they're needed on an NBA roster. I think that people are sleeping on Jabari Smith. They're ripping him, saying he's going to be a bust. I think he's going to be just fine. So those are some of the players that I'm looking at. How about Colin Gillespie as an undrafted free agent out of Villanova, a guy who also has been playing well for the Nuggets in the Summer League? Jay Fish, can the Suns get Kevin Durant? Yes. Do the Nets want DeAndre Ayton? No. That is really the domino. And if they don't want DeAndre Ayton, they don't think that he can be a franchise pillar, then they're not going to trade away Devin Booker. They're not going to trade away Chris Paul. Can you put together a package of Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and some future picks? I think that's a decent haul for Brooklyn. I also kind of like what Brooklyn's been able to do in free agency. Obviously, you don't have that star, but if you can get a star, that's a pretty legit, well-rounded roster. We start off this mailbag with this question coming in from the Gold Eagle 99. It's a $10 super chat. I predict Chet Holmgren will average 17 points per game with 1.5 blocks and be top 5 in Rookie of the Year award voting. What say you, Chase? I think 17 points per game is a little bit lofty. At Gonzaga, he was about 14 points per game. I do think that he could average more than 1.5 blocks. Now, I get scared about Chet going on the low block against a big physical player like Joel Embiid. We saw what Kenneth Lofton was able to do, put his shoulder into him, and Chet Holmgren really struggled physically going up against a big, beefy player like that. But what he lacks in size and weight and strength, he makes up for it with a ridiculously long wingspan. So he's able to make up for it by, even if he gets back down and loses some position down low, he has those really long arms. So around 4 blocks per game with the Zags last year in his freshman campaign, I think it could be realistically around 2. He has such a great knack for protecting the rim.